Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Johanna and welcome to my cozy book space. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing my May ebook haul. I have around 15 ebooks, so let's just jump right into it. First one basically includes 2 books. It's called A Fighter's Desire Part 1 and Part 2. These are prequel novellas for the Gloves Off series by L.P. Dover. It has to do with MMA fighters. What I got from the synopsis is that they are MMA fighters. It is 2 identical twin brothers, and I believe it's going to be an MFM. There's a whole deal how long she can last through the night, something like that. But they're like prequel novellas, but they're around like the 200-page mark. It hooked me. I have to see what this is about. Next up, I have The Heir by Nana Malone. This is a 98-page novella. It has to do with a hero who gets into tons of scandal. He can't get into any more scandals until he sees our heroine at a club, and he just has to have her. Next one is One is a Promise by Pam Godwin. The first book in Pam Godwin's trilogies are usually free because her books aren't on KU. So this one was free, and I believe it is still free. Our heroine falls in love with this rugged, dark biker sort of guy, and then he leaves, promises to come back, and I believe he never does. Fast forward a couple years, our heroine falls in love with this, I'm guessing he's a rich businessman. Essentially, it's a love triangle and her trying to figure out and pick the right man for her. Direct quote from the synopsis: I love 2 men and I can only have 1. So I already know this is gonna be angsty. I don't know when I'm gonna pick this up because love triangles and angst give me so much anxiety, because what if she chooses a guy that I don't want her to choose? And do we even get the other guys' romance? So I don't know, but I definitely downloaded it because it is Pam Godwin. She is one of my auto-buy authors. Then I have Secret Puck by Rebecca Genshak. This is a friends to lovers college sports romance, and it is a brother's teammate. Next up, I have The Assist by Rebecca Genshak. This is another college sports romance, and it is a tutor/jock romance. Those are some of my favorites, so hopefully I love it. Then I have Unwilling Bride by Stella Gray. This is a Valenti Brothers prequel novella. It is a mafia romance. The heroine is sold to settle her father's debts. From the synopsis, I got that the heroine also ends up going out and she wants a one night for herself, and she meets an Irishman, and I'm guessing she has a one-night stand with him, and he might possibly be the one that she gets sold to. So I don't know, I think so. The synopsis doesn't tell you if it's the same man, but she does have like one night of freedom before she's like handed over for her father's debts. So Irishman, sold. Then I have Spades by Kyra Irene. This is a mafia romance arranged marriage. She ends up negotiating with her father to have 2 years of freedom before she is arranged to be married to whoever her father picks. I believe she might meet the hero in this 2-year period, and then the hero also might be the guy that she's being arranged married to, but I'm not sure. This one doesn't give a lot in the synopsis, but I found the premise really interesting. Then I have River of Shadows by Karina Halley. This one looks really interesting. I really like the cover. Let me tell you what the synopsis gives. It gives hella tropes. So it says it's a Hades and Persephone twisted Nordic mythology, Beauty and the Beast, some Alice in Wonderland, high steam dark fantasy romance. And honestly, that's all I needed to know. I need to read more of Karina Halley. I believe I've read like 1 book by her, and it was her like women's fiction / contemporary romance, and I just never went back. But I think once I dive into her more dark romance / fantasy romance, I will like her a lot more. Next up, I ended up downloading Titan by Gillian Graves. I've been wanting to read Gillian Graves for the longest time. I've heard nothing but great things, and she has a lot of monster romances. So I was thinking maybe like a monsters romance romances reading vlog, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time for that, but that would be so much fun. So maybe I'll do that, and maybe this book will be in there. I know this one is a gargoyle daddy dom romance. I believe the heroine's parents spend her college fund, and now she needs to find a way to make money, and she becomes the sugar baby to this gargoyle monster. And it sounds really good. It's really long, so that's why I've been a little bit iffy in jumping in, but I do want to read Jillian Graves' monster romances, so this might be the one I jump into. Then I have Married to the Mobster by Leighton Green. This is a mafia romance, but it's also an mafia romance, and I'm super excited. I haven't read or seen a lot of mafia romance. I've read, I believe it's called Mafia Target by Mila Finelli. I know that one is an mafia romance, and I loved that one. So this one I'm excited for. I think it's going to be really good. It's also a romantic suspense. Then I ended up downloading Group Therapy by B.B. Easton. I was going through B.B. Easton's backlist after I had read, what is that one book called? It's Green. I read it. I wanted to love it, but I didn't quite love it. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of that book. But I was looking through her backlist, and I saw this one, besides her other most famous one, the one that got turned into a TV show on Netflix. This one is a fun, forbidden rom-com, and it is between an inexperienced psychologist and her ultra-famous client. So that's not interesting to me. It was free, so I ended up downloading it. Then I also have Beach Reads Box Set Volume 3. I know this was free, and it's beachy summer vacation novella box set. It has a ton of authors in this box set, and I have yet to read any of them, but maybe I'll pick them up sometime next year in the summertime, because girl, I'm in full fall mode already. But yeah, I did end up getting this because it was free. Then I ended up buying The Devil of London by Amelia Hutchinson. I had been wanting to pick up an Amelia Hutchinson because I was going to possibly see her at a book signing, and so I ended up buying this ebook, and I ended up DNFing it because I was just so confused from the beginning. It is a dark fantasy romance, but I am still confused about this book. If you've tried to read this, or if you've read it, let me know down below in the comments, or DM me. We could talk about it, and you can just spoil the entirety of this book, because I just still don't understand. It was good in some parts, but then like a new chapter or like a different scene, and it was just like not smooth transitioning, and I was just confused. I don't know if we were in the past, in the present, in the future. Girl, I don't know. So I had to DNF it because I was so confused, and I was just not having a good time. The brain power that you need for this book was not the brain power that I could give. So I ended up DNFing it, but I did sadly have to buy it. So I did end up buying it in May. Last book that I ended up downloading for the month of May was Hate Me by Summer O'Toole. This is actually the second book in the Fox Family Crime Syndicate. This one I ended up downloading because I've seen nothing but great things about Summer O'Toole's mafia romance series. It is on KU, but I believe Hate Me was free at a certain point, so I ended up downloading it. I definitely will be reading the first book before I jump into the second book, but the second book, the tropes, it got me. It is a dark childhood friends to enemies to lovers romance, and that's all I needed to know. And it's also mafia, and it's a new mafia author, and I've heard nothing but great things, so I can't wait to jump into it. I almost jumped into the first book recently, but I put a poll on my Instagram. If you're not following me already, I do polls on there sometimes when I need help deciding what to read, and I recently added that book to my poll, but it didn't end up winning over a different one. So I'm currently reading a different mafia romance, but maybe after the one that I'm reading right now, I'll jump into this series because I've been really craving mafia, dark mafia romance. You know what I mean? But anyways, that was the last book that I ended up downloading for the month of May. If you made it to the end of the video, then go ahead and leave me a phone emoji down below in the comments. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.